Hi friends, first of all thanks for being in my YouTube channel. Today, as in part of this video, I wanted to explain the combination of simple past and past continuous. Dear friends, in the competitive examinations, we will be given three major tense combinations. Among these three combinations, the first combination is simple past and past continuous. The second combination is simple past and past perfect. And the third combination is simple past and present perfect. So, as it is highly essential, as it is the most important topic, I wanted to explain the first combinations among these three. The combination of simple past and past continuous. Okay, dear friends, before we shall move to see the combination of simple past and past continuous, we shall try to recall the structures of these two subtenses. Dear friends, we know very well, simple past tense takes the structure subject plus V2 plus object. And the past continuous takes the structure subject plus was or were plus V4 plus object. So you may have a doubt how the questions will be asked in the competitive examinations on the combination of these two subtenses, simple past and past continuous. In order to avoid this confusion, I gave you a question on the board. Dear friends, I request you to observe the question, the first question I have given on the board, please. The principal dash the class while the teacher dash. So this is a single sentence where you can find two blanks. And the two blanks are given two verbs here, teach, enter. What we have to do, we have to write, or we have to fill in these two blanks with appropriate verbal form. If you want to fill these blanks with appropriate verbal form, we should know how do we use the combination of simple past and past continuous. Dear friends, we know very well, simple past is used to describe the finished actions whose time is clearly mentioned. And the past continuous tense is used to describe the progressive actions in the past. It is also used when we want to describe the annoying habits of someone. It also describes the past conditions that are not existing in the present. Of course, there are many uses of simple past and past continuous. That is not the matter. When it comes to the combination, which blank can be filled up with simple past and which blank can be filled up with past continuous? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. We need to ask ourselves a question. What is that? We are given two blanks in the sentence. Between these two blanks, which blank can be filled up with simple past and which blank can be filled up with the past continuous? If you want to avoid this confusion, dear friends, I suggest you to pose a question. If you want to fill in this blank with the correct verbal forms, we have to pose a question. What is that? What happened while something was happening? What happened while something was happening? The answer you get for the question what happened, you can write in simple past tense. The answer what you get for the question what happened can be written in simple past tense. The answer what you get for the question what while something was happening, the answer what you get for the question what was happening can be written in past continuous tense. So you have to apply these two questions when you go through the exercise or the questions that are given regarding the first combination of simple past and past continuous. Okay, dear friends, let us have a close look over the first question. The principal dash the class. The principal dash the class while the teacher dash. What happened while something was happening? What happened? And what was happening? What was happening? The teacher dash. The teacher was doing something. When the teacher was doing something, the other action happened. So the happened action can be written in simple past tense. The action which was in progress can be written in past continuous tense. Isn't it? And while the teacher, she was doing something. She was doing something when the other action happened. So this blank can be, this part of the sentence can be written in past continuous tense. ఒక పని జరుగుతూ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇంకో పని జరిగింది. ఒక పని జరుగుతూ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇంకో పని జరిగింది. ఆ జరుగుతూ ఉన్నటువంటి పనిని పాస్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్లో రాసుకోవాలి. ఆ పని జరుగుతూ ఉండగా ఇంకో పని జరుగుతుంది, ఇంకో పని జరిగి ఉంటుంది. ఆ జరిగి ఉన్న పనిని సింపుల్ పాస్ట్లో మనం రాసుకోవాలి. జరుగుతూ ఉన్న పనిని పాస్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్లో, ఆ పని జరుగుతూ ఉండగా ఇంకో పని జరిగినప్పుడు ఆ జరిగినటువంటి పనిని సింపుల్ పాస్ట్లో మనం రాసుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. So here you can apply the same question. What was happening? What was happening when something happened? What happened while something was happening? You can ask any one of these questions. No problem. What happened while something was happening? What was happening here? The teacher was teaching. Why it has taken was teaching? Because the sentence should be written in past perfect, because we are discussing about that. So while the teacher was teaching, the teacher is a subject, was plus V4 form the verb. This is the structure of past continuous tense. So we have filled up the second blank. And what about the first blank? While the second sentence is filled up with the past continuous, eventually the first blank can be filled up with the simple past. Then in simple past we always get only V2 form of the verb, isn't it? Then the principal dash the class. Here enter, we are given V1 form of the verb, but we are writing the sentence in simple past tense, so it requires V2 form of the verb. Then we can convert the V1 form of the verb enter into its V2. Then it becomes entered. Then this is the answer. What is that? The principal entered the class while the teacher was teaching. So can you tell me the correct option here? Option D contains the correct verbal forms. Entered was teaching. So the correct answer for the first question is D. Entered was teaching. Once again, you please ask a question when you want to provide the appropriate verbal form in the first combination of simple past and past continuous. What happened while something was happening? What happened while something was happening? So while I was taking the class, the power went off. నేను క్లాస్ తీసుకుంటూ ఉండగా పవర్ వెళ్ళిపోయింది. What happened? Power వెళ్ళిపోయింది. What was happening? I was taking the class. So what happened while something was happening? So what happened, the answer what you get for what happened can be written in simple past, and the answer what you get for the question what was happening can be written in past continuous tense. With these concepts we shall try to answer the second question. They dash each other when the police dash. What happened while something was happening? What was happening? What was happening? They dash each other when the police dash. పోలీసులు వచ్చేసరికి what was happening? They were doing something. పోలీసులు వచ్చేసరికి వాళ్ళు ఏదో చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. ఆ చేస్తూ ఉన్నటువంటి పనిని దేంట్లో రాసుకోవాలి? పాస్ట్ కంటిన్యూస్లో రాసుకోవాలి. That means the first blank can be filled up with the structure of past continuous tense. Here fight, the most appropriate between these two verbs is fight. Here we can write the verb fight, but we have to mend. We have to shape the main verb fight according to the structure of past continuous tense. Then they is a plural pronoun and it takes were in past continuous tense. They were, and we record V4 from the verb. Fight is a V1 from the verb, and when we convert V1 fight into its V4, then it becomes a fighting. They were fighting each other when the police. So this is the blank which is filled up with the past continuous, and eventually the second blank can be filled up with the simple past, and the blank requires V2 form the verb, and here we are given the verb which is in V1, and when we convert that V1 form into V2 it becomes arrived. So the correct answer is they were fighting each other. They were fighting with each other when the police arrived. We shall go to the third question. My mother dash when the guests dash. My mother dash when the guests dash. What was happening? Then what happened? What was happening? When something happened, what was happening? The mother, she was doing something. She was cooking. My mother was. Why was here? Because the subject is a singular one. So the first blank can be filled up with the past continuous tense because something is happening here. As something was happening, we are writing this blank in past continuous tense, and as the subject is in singular, we have taken was, and later we require V2 form, V4 form the verb in past continuous tense. Then cook becomes cooking, right? Then the answer will be my mother was cooking when the guests. So this is the blank which is filled up with past continuous tense. Eventually, the next blank can be filled up with the simple past, and in simple past we require V2 form of the verb, and here come is a V1, and its V2 is came, when the guests came. Shall go to the fourth question, dears. The lights dash while the children dash a film. The lights dash when the children dash a film. So pillalu cinema chustu undaga lights, something happened with the lights. While the children doing something happened. So the second blank can be filled up with the past continuous tense, and the first blank can be filled up with the simple past. So when we take watch, so the children, as it is a plural noun, it takes were. And we have tried V4 form the verb in past continuous tense. Now then watch becomes watching, right? So the children, while the children were watching a film, what happened? Something happened. So whatever the thing that happened, that can be written in simple past tense, and simple past tense require V2 form of the verb, and here go is V1 form of the verb, and its V2 form of the verb will be went. The lights went off. The lights went off while the children were watching a film. We shall go to fifth question here. While the boy dash, he dashed down. What was happening? What happened? When something was happening, what happened? He dashed down. ఇతను కింద పడ్డాడు. ఎప్పుడు? పరిగెడుతూ ఉన్నప్పుడు. So పరిగెడుతూ ఉండడం అనేది continuous action, and it was happening in the past. So the first blank can be written in past continuous tense. Then the boy, while the boy, as the boy is a singular subject, it takes was. While the boy was, we require V4 form the verb. Then run becomes running. While the boy was running, what happened? So the answer for the question what happened can be written in simple past. So it requires, the blank requires V2 form of the verb. He dashed down. So fall is a V1 form of the verb, but here we require V2 form of the verb. Then fall becomes a fell down. Okay, dear friends, this is all about the first combination of simple past and past continuous tense. Remember, so this is a blind mark when there is the conjunction when. So whenever you find the conjunction when, the sentence you write after that should always be in simple past. Okay, the sentence which you write after the conjunction when, the sentence what you write after the conjunction when, it should be always in simple past tense. Okay, so keep it in your mind. It is not necessary, but you can just keep it in a corner of your mind. Okay, dear friends, thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe it, share it, and I request you to make comments that I require most. Thank you.